When this was new in 2001, this 2.3 litre 4-cylinder supercharged Mercedes CLK would have set you back around £30,000, or the equivalent of about £55,000 in today's money. But last April, I bought it for just £1,000. So now, 24 years after it rolled off the factory floor, I've spent close to £2,500 bringing it back up to speed. New AMG wheels, a refurb, tyres, sorting out suspension, and ticking off a list of little jobs, all with one goal in mind: to take it on an epic road trip. A road trip that would cover more than 1,500 miles, all the way from Stockport in South Manchester to what was formerly my hometown, Benalmádena in southern Spain. So at 4:45 AM on a wet Sunday morning, my editor Steve set off in the CLK.
This is far too early for this.
While I packed my cases into our camera car, a 2009 Suzuki Splash that also needed to be taken back to Spain. The plan was to meet around 110 miles down the road at Corley Services. So let's get started. Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, do you remember my very cheap Mercedes CLK that I bought a few months ago for just £1,000? Well, I've since spent about £2,500 on it, so I thought what I'd do next is treat it to a road trip. So today we're heading all the way down to southern Spain in it, which is a journey of around 1,200 miles. Thankfully we're not doing it all in one go, we're doing it over 3 nights. The first stop tonight is in Le Mans. Then tomorrow night we're in Biarritz, all being well, as long as we don't have a breakdown. And then the third night we're going to Madrid. I normally do this trip in just one hit with only one overnight, but on this occasion I thought I'd do it over 3 and make it a bit more enjoyable. Anyway, time's ticket. I can't rely on my watch, it needs a service. We've got to be in Folkestone, the Eurotunnel terminal, in like 3.5 hours time, and we're 3.5 hours away, so I better hit the road. I've been on the road now for about an hour and a half. We just thought we'd stop at Corley Services for a quick coffee. My eyes were stinging. The car's been absolutely spot on so far. We've been averaging about 30 miles per gallon, which, although that isn't great, for a 25-year-old petrol automatic Mercedes, it's not too bad. I was hoping to get to Folkestone on a single tank and then brim it there because fuel's cheaper in the UK than it is in France. But we'll see how we get on. Anyway, let's hit the road. We're about 2.5 hours away from Folkestone, so we're about halfway now. And yeah, everything's going well. I don't want to jinx it, but everything is running all right. Apart from my wobbly steering, we're all good. I'm just glad the rain stopped. When I left the northwest this morning, it was lashing down. Now at least the sun's out. Hopefully when we get to France, we can have the roof down. Very good. Très bien, as they say in France. Très bien. Anyway, I'll catch up with you in a bit. I've done this trip to Spain now plenty of times, and a top tip if you're thinking of doing it yourself is to take the Eurotunnel instead of the ferry. Yes, it costs a bit more, but it's much quicker and easier. The only real worry was fuel. I was determined to make it all the way to Folkestone on one tank, because filling up in France is always more expensive. Well, we made it to the Eurotunnel terminal. We've checked in now and we've got about 20 minutes until we board. And so far, so good. Everything's going all right. There are a couple of small issues with the car though. So there's a load of wheel wobble at like 70 miles an hour, which is my own fault. Sam at SPR advised that I had the wheels balanced and I completely forgot. And I'm kicking myself because now when you get to 70, it's like that. And also the brakes, I don't know whether they need bedding in because they're brand new, but they're quite, I don't know how to describe it. When you brake firmly and sharply, they're quite juddery. So I'm hoping in time I don't know, maybe they need bedding in. They are brand new discs and pads at the front, so maybe that's what it is. I don't fancy driving at 1,000 miles with the wheel wobbling like that, so maybe when we get to France tomorrow, well, later tonight, but tomorrow I'll do this, maybe find a local mechanics or, you know, like a quick fit type place and maybe get them balanced. We just filled up the tanks at Maidstone Services, so we're all ready to go. Wanted to do it here because it is slightly cheaper than fuel in France. You always see loads of really nice cars at this terminal. There's always loads of interesting stuff. I can see a 911, there's a brand new S-Class behind me. I saw an E-Type convertible earlier when we were checking in. Yeah, There's always something to look at. I'm just waiting for my brother to get back from his 11th toilet break, and then we can board the train. Before we leave the UK and head on to the Eurotunnel, let me let you in on a little secret about what I've got stowed away for this trip. And no, it's not spare Mercedes parts. It's actually today's video sponsor, AG1. AG1 is a daily nutrition supplement with over 70 vitamins, minerals and other ingredients. Things like gut-friendly bacteria, antioxidants and high-quality mushrooms. In other words, it's all the stuff I'm definitely not going to find in a service station meal deal. This is the brand new version. It's the biggest upgrade they've made in 15 years, and it's backed by 4 human clinical trials. And that's what I like most about it. It's properly tested. Every batch is purity tested, certified by third parties, and even things like nutrient absorption and bacterial strains are clinically proven. And for me on a trip like this, the big one's energy. Now AG1 supports energy levels and helps reduce tiredness and fatigue without the caffeine crash. And that's all thanks to nutrients like B6, B12, vitamin C and magnesium. I've actually been using this now for the past year and it's become part of my routine. It tastes surprisingly good and it's really easy to make. All you do is mix 1 scoop with water and at least I know one thing on this trip's going to be reliable, which is more than I can say for my old Mercedes CLK. If you'd like to try it, subscribe now and get 5 travel packs, a vitamin D3 and K2 bottle and the welcome kit worth £68 for free with your first subscription. And if you want to dig into the science, all the details about the benefits and the studies are in the link below. So start your day with AG1. Simple, consistent, done. Right, we're just about to board now then. Oh, I just cut somebody up there, sorry. Wasn't intentional. Just carved somebody up in an I-30. So we're just about to board now. So this will only take us 35 minutes and then we'll be in France. All we've got to do now is board the train, park up, and then we wait. Now I'd normally try and close my eyes for 10 or 15 minutes, which is probably what you're doing at home because this might be quite a dull video. I always panic about curbing my wheels when I board this train because, as you'll see in a second, there's not much room. As you can see then, if you look out the window, we are currently moving. And what always blows my mind about this is, I think it's something like 31 metres long, this tunnel. So you're on a train within a tunnel, but you're not on top of the seabed, you're beneath it. You're actually something like 75 metres beneath the seabed in this tunnel, which is quite incredible. They built this in the early 90s. I think they opened it in like 95 or something, mid-90s anyway, and it cost billions of pounds. It was a joint effort between the Brits and the French. I watched this documentary about it years ago, but it amazes me that, so the Brits started tunnelling, that way, and then the French started tunnelling that way, and when they met somewhere in the middle, they were only something like half a metre off, which just amazes me. And there's actually not just one tunnel. So there's one tunnel going that way, another tunnel going the other way, and then there's a third tunnel which is used in emergencies. Anyway, that's got absolutely nothing to do with today's video, but I'm quite curious and I do like a fact, so hopefully you do too. As soon as we get off this train at the other end, we've got about a 3 or 4 hour journey to Le Mans. We've booked the hotel, or the motel, or whatever it is, or the Holiday Inn, so we're about 3.5 hours away from that. So, should be quite a leisurely stroll down to Le Mans. I suppose then I'll see you on the other side when we're in France, when I inevitably stop for an Orangina and a pain au chocolat and a coffee, I mean. See you there. Right, we're just getting off the train. We are officially, hang on a second, wait for it.
Don't say it.
Bonjour. We're in France. That was anticlimactic, wasn't it? Wearing my sunglasses. It's quite a nice day today. I need to just get the postcode of where we're going.
Le Mans.
Le Mans. Okay. We're heading to Rouen, I think, but I always make the joke about the road to Rouen. I think I've killed it now. I've done it too many times. Need to find the road to Rouen. Very bright, isn't it? Someone's in an E63. He's awake then, is he? The E63 man was fast asleep, catching flies.
Oh, there they are.
Right, we've got the lads in the splash. Come on then, let's be having you.
Where
are you? If anyone says anything, that car is left-hand drive, so the passenger's filming, not the driver. I need to call my colleagues actually, so I'll catch up with you in a bit. Right, we made it to France safely. We stopped just outside Calais for some refreshments, and we're about 250 miles away from our first hotel. The Eurotunnel was fine, there were no delays there, so it just took us 35 minutes, and that was it. The last time I used the Eurotunnel, probably 18 months ago, maybe 2 years ago, two things happened that delayed it for hours. I was there for 4 or 5 or 6 hours. There was a bomb scare at the Eurotunnel terminal, so they just closed everything. And also, do you remember that prisoner escaped from Wandsworth Prison? Under a truck or something. So the police were out everywhere in force, making sure they didn't flee the country. So yeah, that happened, and we were just stuck at Folkestone for hours and hours and hours. Me and Kiki, and that was it. I always struggle for things to film on these road trip videos because there's not much to say really, apart from giving you a constant update. But I suppose on this trip, because it's more of a chill journey, we're doing it over 3 nights, 4 days. I'm going to try and make time for some more activities. Anyway, let's go and get something to drink and maybe a croissant.
There you go, chocolate milk.
Oh yeah, that's this, right. If you watch Auto Alex's channel, he always goes on about this, the Candio stuff. Do you like chocolate milk?
Not really. I like milk.
I'm a big fan of chocolate milk. I've never tried this, so let's see what all the fuss is about. My expectations aren't very high. Okay, right. Put the orange into one side because I know what that tastes like. This is the Candy Up then, which is supposed to be, according to Auto Alex, incredible. You see, I've got no expectations of this because I'm judging a book by the cover, but the packaging is quite poor. I don't think this will be very good.
Do I think that's just the case with all Spanish and French brands though? Like,
Well, all Spanish and French, I'm going to say, what are you saying here? All Spanish and French brands have poor packaging.
Brandon isn't as good, I don't think.
Okay, there's a bold statement. Now, also, I'm something of a chocolate milk connoisseur because I used to be fat and I drank a lot of this stuff in my time. So this has got to, yeah, Shaken Udder's really good. Shaken Udder's good. Mars drink's the best, isn't it?
Cola Cow in Spain.
Cola Cow's good. Puleva's good.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
There are lots. I was fat. Although this has got a green light, I don't know what that means. It's too watery as well. I quite like a thick chocolate milk. It's all right, actually. It's all right. It's overrated. You know what that tastes like? If you make a chocolate milk at home with the chocolate sauce.
With skim milk.
Yes. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed, actually. It's
not for me, that.
No. Try Mars bar drink or any of the previously mentioned chocolate milks. Anyway, Auto Alex, you're wrong there. There are better chocolate milks. Candy Ups. Bit dead, really, isn't it? Crossing the viaduct, the CLK was eating up the miles without complaints. Not bad for a car that cost less than a set of tyres on a new one. We passed through Sotteville-les-Rouen before pulling into a Total service station. Now, when you're in France, you'd expect to stop for some traditional French cuisine, but instead we ended up at a Kentucky Fried Chicken. My brother even tried a KFC taco, which, judging by his face, won't be catching on anytime soon. Right guys, I thought I'd give you a quick update. We're about an hour away from the hotel now and I'm absolutely shattered. Been driving for about 7.5, 8 hours maybe, and I'm done. I'm tired. Can't be bothered anymore. So as soon as we get to the hotel, I'm going to go and get some food, maybe a couple of beers, and then hit the, what do you say? Hit the hay?
Yeah.
Hit the hay. Go to bed. I'm going to go to bed. We've seen loads of Porsches today. In fact, there's one there. And I mean loads of Porsches. And it turns out there was some sort of Le Mans Porsche event on that I've missed. Once again, my lack of planning has cost us. Not very good at organising things, am I? Anyway, I have seen plenty of Porsches on the road, just not all in one place. Anyway, the weather hasn't made its mind up today at all. We've had like all 4 seasons in one day. Going back to the CLK though, I don't want to speak too soon, but it hasn't missed a beat. It's been perfect. Absolutely faultless. Apart from the wheel wobble and the juddery brakes, it's spot on. No issues at all. My air conditioning is ice cold, so thanks Sam for that. My heater works. Like I said, my climate dial has gone from hot to cold, hot to cold. It's been up and down like a yo-yo. We're going to stop for some fuel now, so we're ready for the morning. Oh, Aston. Oh, I really want an Aston.
It's lovely.
That's cool. I don't really like the Vantage. I'd rather have the bigger one, but wouldn't say no. There's a Mustang, look. Oh, look at the other Aston there. Aston Martin race team, look at that. It's got an ironing board on the back. That's good. Maybe he could do his chinos.
Needs them doing, doesn't it?
Anyway, John of theirs parked on the crossing. Right guys, anyway, I'm going to stop now, get some more fuel, and I'll see you at the hotel. As it turned out, the Le Mans Classic was on that weekend, which explained why every single petrol station stop felt like a car show. In case you were wondering, the Gulf liveried Aston was a V12 Vantage AMR with a 3.6 0 to 60 time. Although personally I think I'd rather have the slightly more restrained 5.9 litre V12 just across the forecourt. Not long after, at Valframbert services, the variety stepped up another gear. A pair of Lotuses, a classic Elise alongside a brand new Emira, parked right next to a Porsche 944 Cabriolet. Then I saw a Caterham squeezed in between the diesel pumps, followed by a two-tone Bentley estate conversion that looked like it'd come straight out of a coach builder's fever dream. And to top it all off, a bright yellow VW camper with curtains in the windows. Only in France do you find motorway services that double up as car shows. Meanwhile, we were climbing out of a £1,000 CLK and a Suzuki Splash. Not exactly paddock material. And to rub it in, filling up both of them wasn't cheap. Fuel here was sitting at about €1.80 for a litre, which stings a bit more when you're staring at an Aston that probably drinks it twice as fast. Later that evening, just as we were checking into the hotel, Steve spotted something in the corner of the car park and insisted we pull in. Waiting there was a 1969 Aston Martin DB6 in silver birch, a proper Bond-era classic. Next to it was an 80s V8 Vantage with all the presence of a muscle car, and a Ferrari California just casually thrown into the mix. Not bad for a roadside motel.
I'd rather have that one. That's cool, isn't it? That's sexy. That's really,
Yeah.
they're like 150, aren't they?
Are they really?
Proper muscle car looking, isn't it?
I love the colour as well.
Is that the only one they did in that sort of style, like muscle car style?
Yeah, they've ran it for ages, haven't they?
Yeah,
Like 15 years, something else like that. So after that was the something.
Yes. Well, we made it to the hotel fine. Everything's been quite uneventful, really. But we've been on the road for 15 hours, so it's been quite a long day. This always had to be the way, really. Today was always going to be the longest travelling day. Tomorrow, I think it's down to 6 or 7 hours, and then the last day is down to 5. So that should be a bit of a breeze. Tomorrow, all being well, we should have time to go to the Le Mans Motoring Museum, which I'm quite intrigued to do. I'm kind of gutted we missed this event, to be honest. I just had no idea it existed. It's kind of like a French Goodwood, but it's certainly something we can do next year. I'll look into that. Anyway, I'm shattered now, so I'm going to go and get a shower and have an early night, I think. So I'll see you tomorrow. Right, well, it's day 2 today. I'm a little bit tired, actually, and we've all overslept. Massively overslept. Need to get some new air fresheners made, don't I? I was planning to leave at like 7:30 or something, but I woke up at 8:30. It's kind of like that scene from Pineapple Express where they slept in the car for 14 hours. Anyway, we've got a 6-hour drive now down to Biarritz, but I'm in desperate need of a coffee. So we're going to go and get some petit déjeuner right now, some breakfast, coffee, and then hit the road. If we've got time today, then I'd like to go to the museum in Le Mans. So we're going to head into Le Mans city centre now and see what's happening. Also, I don't want to sound like a diva, but there was no hairdryer in the room. Weather's rubbish, isn't it, today? Morning. Right, we're heading for breakfast now then in Le Mans City, which is somewhere I've never actually been. I've stayed on the outskirts loads of times, but I've never actually been into the city. We're only about 15 minutes away, so as much as I'd like to get on the road, I thought it might be better to go and get some breakfast and see some sights. I'd also like to see the museum there. They've got some massive, famous motor museum, so I thought we'd go and check that out first. The weather's miserable today, and I haven't got any trousers or jeans or hoodies of any description. Oh. Sorry, hang on one second. Oh, look at that.
Reparation.
Reparation. Restoration. Ah, look at that. Right, so it's a classic car. Ah, right, I can't really park here. Look at those. So you got the old Fiat 500s there, look. Little Alpha. Is that Mercedes 123? I think it is. The green one. That's cool. Jag E-Type. That's really smart. Oh yeah, it says no filming. Right, we better make a move then. Before we get in trouble. I'd like to go and have a route around that. Okay, anyway, right, we're gonna hit the road then. Well, slight change of plan then. We made it into Le Mans City, which is a beautiful little city actually. And I can't park, the weather's rubbish, and I've lost John and Steve. One of us went up a bus lane and it was a whole ordeal. So we've given up on that idea because life's too short. So we're gonna get on the motorway instead and head in the general direction of Biarritz. We're gonna have a meander to Biarritz, but we're gonna stop at the first services, hopefully meet up with Jono and Steve, and consume some café au lait and pain au chocolat. So I think that's about it really. This is why I rarely venture into the cities when I do this kind of trip, because it just adds an hour or two onto your day. And I very rarely have the time to do that. I know the whole plan for this one was to take our time and, you know, go and see things and all that stuff. But it's early, it's raining, I want a coffee. So change of plan. Might get more adventurous later. Right, anyway, I'll catch up with you very soon, hopefully when I've got a coffee in my hand and a smile on my face. Au revoir, mon ami. Oh, look at that Mustang. I like how the French aren't into cars. It's really refreshing, don't you reckon? Everyone's just got a little Clio. They don't care, do they?
Yeah.
I quite like that.
And it's their own country as well, which I like.
Yeah, their own brand, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. True to my word, about 15 minutes later, we pulled into a Fiat, I think that's how you pronounce it, bakery. It's a fancy French chain that's a bit like Greg's, only posher. And we met back up with Steve and Jono. It's a slipping cake though, which means it's going to leak oil everywhere. Probably throw on an engine light. The coffee and pastries were spot on, although the place was absolutely swarming with bees. Trying to eat a croissant without getting stung turned into a bit of a tactical operation. Once we'd escaped, unstung, it was straight back on the autoroute for the long push south. Well, I thought I'd give you a quick update then. We've just stopped for some more fuel. We've been driving for about 2 hours and so far everything's been fine. No faults at all. Even the wheel wobble is tolerable. I've decided I'm going to wait until I get to Spain, mainly because I don't know what the French is for wheel balancing, but I do know it in Spanish. One thing about doing this trip though that I never quite get over is the cost of the tolls. Now I thought the Midland Expressway was expensive, which it is, it's a complete rip-off. It was like £10.30 the other day. But here I've spent probably 90 euros, 100 euros maybe on tolls so far. We're only halfway through France. They really do rack up. Saying that, at least the roads are in good condition. There are no potholes or anything. They're all in decent nick. The car's been comfortable-ish. Ish. The seat base is quite firm. I've had quite a numb backside. But yeah, no, apart from that, could be worse. Anyway, we've got another 300 miles to go. We're going to go to Bordeaux next, and then ultimately Biarritz. So we might end up stopping in Bordeaux. I'm not sure yet. I've never been to Bordeaux, and it's supposed to be I've heard it's a beautiful city. So we might stop there. Who knows? The CLK was settling into its stride now, happily cruising at motorway speeds, which was a bit of a relief because we still had hundreds of miles to cover before Biarritz. Soon we were crossing the Pont d'Aquitaine. I think next year we'll just go to Scotland. Things are easy to pronounce there. The Pont d'Aquitaine is a mile-long suspension bridge over the Garonne, built back in the 60s, and it still carries more than 100,000 vehicles a day. For us though, it was the gateway through Bordeaux. The French toll system kept us on our toes too. Every time you felt that you were making progress, another booth appeared to slow you down and empty your wallet. Well, we made it to our destination in Biarritz after another long but uneventful day. This is kind of the trouble with these trips. There's not an awful lot to tell you There's a lot of driving and a lot of fuel stops, but nothing else noteworthy really. The car's been fine, or both cars have been fine actually. So no issues there to report, which is obviously a good thing. We're about halfway now. Where we are right now is about 15 minutes from the Spanish border. So the plan tomorrow is drive down to Madrid. We booked a hotel for the night in Madrid. Now I'm hoping we get there at a reasonable hour and we can go into the city and have some food and beers. That was my original plan for tonight in Biarritz, but we got here too late, to be honest, so that plan's kind of gone out the window. I'm looking forward to getting to Spain, to be honest. I'm always way more comfortable in Spain than I am in France. I prefer everything, I should say this quietly, prefer everything about Spain, to be honest, so I'll be quite glad to cross the border tomorrow. Anyway, I'm going to go and get a shower now and go to bed, so I'll see you in the morning. I think tomorrow I'm going to try and go into Biarritz Old Town and go and get some breakfast there. I know I planned that today in Le Mans and it didn't quite go to plan, but hopefully tomorrow in Biarritz it will. Well, that's it for this video. In the next one we'll be heading further south down to Madrid, then on to our final destination, Benalmádena. If you enjoyed the trip so far, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok for more updates. And yeah, I'll see you next time.